But my revenge was for that fucking nun. Like, I made a decision.
The one that paddled you.
The one, she abused me. She poured milk on my head. Like, she did all this shit. So what happened was, we're in the 5th grade. I don't know what class it is. She was teaching. Because you had like a new teacher come in every hour to teach you a certain subject. This dirty bitch comes in. And I'm looking at these fucking Bravo brothers. And they're crying. But at that time, I knew Nino had gotten fucked in the ass. And we had already had a plan to take down Lazarito. Me and the Rubero brothers and a bunch of guys were going to wait till he was sleeping and put like a pillowcase on his head and just beat him with everything we had. Because he did this to this kid. And their mom was having a kid. They were twins, but the mom was in labor. And they were crying. And they asked Sister Hyacinth if they could call the hospital. The phone was fucking 30 feet from the classroom, a payphone. And Sister Hyacinth said, no, wait till after the class. And they're like, but our mommy's in bad shape. We want to make sure and call. And she goes, what did I just tell you? You know, I just told you to fucking... And at that time, I was already starting to hate her. And I was already starting to get that attitude from 148th Street. I was running it down. And I looked at them straight in the face, and I go, fuck her. With a little bit of volume to it. Like, it was like April, and I go, fuck her. I go, you know what, man? Your mother and your father worked really hard for you to come here. You know, I go, Jesus don't pay for the bills here. Your parents do. Like, I was already that hip. I go, get up and go make that fucking phone call. I'll get up with you. And she looked right at me. She goes, what'd you say, Mr. Diaz? I'm like, I told him to go make that phone call. Their mom's hurting, man. Who the hell are you? And she goes, all three of you get up and wait for us after class. And that pretty much meant she was going to fucking light you up after class.
Right.
And you had like 5 minutes to get in between from class to class. Or I don't know if the other teacher came. I don't remember exactly what it was. But I remember we waited in the hallway for class to finish. And then she came up, and the two kids were still crying from their mom, you know. And she's like, stop crying. You know, how many times am I going to tell you? And what are you going to have your attorney, Jose, stick up for you or something like that? And
I was talking about you,
yeah. And I go, listen, man, I just told them the truth. Their mom's fucking, you know, and she goes, shut up. And she like smacked me. And then she pulled Raphael's hair and just started violently smacking him. And then Nino, she started smacking him. You know, and I wrote a joke about it that I pushed Nino. And no, she just attacked Nino and Raphael. And I'm like, I don't know what I said. Is this necessary? I mean, what the fuck is going on? These two kids' moms are in the fucking hospital and you're beating them up because they asked you? It's expensive to come to this fucking private school. So then she turned her attention on me. And she goes, what'd you have to say in there? And she bit her tongue and she just started reaching for me, smacking me. But I was done with it. In that school, they had a thing. If they smacked you, had to put your hands down.
Oh, and take it?
And take it. And just like my mother at the house, my mother had a rule. Put your hand down. Put your fucking hand down or I'll burn that fucking thing. So I would, and this particular day, I put my hands up. And she goes, put your hands down. I'm not putting them down. And she would bite her tongue. And she'd go, put them down. Put them down. And she kept pounding me. And I kept standing my ground. Like, I'm not going to fucking put them down. And then she grabbed me by the hand. She goes, get into the utility closet. And it was well known that in the utility closet is where they bloodied you up. Like, they bloodied you up in there. Like, that's where they closed the door. And then she started smacking you. And she'd hit you with books. She'd knee you. Whatever she could do. And I went to the utility. And on the walk to the utility closet, I said, this is not going to happen to me today. I was 10 years old. I knew where I came from. My mom was a tough bitch. My mom wouldn't accept this. I go, I'm not letting this nun beat me up. And we went into the utility closet. I walked in first, and she closed the door, but it never shut. And she threw me against the wall, and she just started violently smacking me. You put your hand. I kept putting my hands up, and I could feel the blood coming from my lip. And once I tasted that blood,
Bruce Lee.
Like Bruce Lee.
Oh, shit. The Cuban connection.
I looked at her and I said, I'm going to go for this bitch. Now, I was pretty proficient in karate.
And you're a 5th grade?
5th grade, I was a purple belt in karate with at Laranjo, whatever's father's school, Mr. Black on 98th Street. I was great with kicks. I had really good kicks. My hands were kind of weak, but I was a pussy. I was scared to fight. I was scared to get hit, but I was getting the hang of it. And I said, today, this is not going to happen. And in the middle of her smacking me, I just grabbed her. And I'll never forget, it was like metal shelves that had notebooks on it and like all school utensils. And I pushed her with her back in the middle of one of the things that was sticking out. So when I pushed her, I hit her hard. And she's like, and she goes, what are you doing? And I go, you're not going to hit me today. You know, not today. And I think I smacked her or whatever once or twice. Like, I was crazy. And then she went to push me, but she fell into a fucking, a headlock. So this bitch had me like by 50 pounds, 60 pounds, maybe 100 pounds. She was a big fat bitch. And I had her by the fucking head, and I knew that I couldn't let go. I knew that either if I let go, I had to run for that door.
Hell yeah, man. You're
so I'm holding on to her, and she can't get out of this
everything
headlock.
right there.
And I'm squeezing her. I don't have it under the chin like I had.
Like
it was a Khabib. I knew nothing about. I knew nothing about choking people or nothing. I just knew about fear, what it was to be a scared little boy. And I just grabbed her. My adrenaline must have been pumping because she kept saying, "You're gonna kill me. You're gonna kill me." And I'm like, "Fuck it, you're dying today." I'm like, I didn't give a fuck, you know. And I kept squeezing, and then I turned her around, and she fucking kept in the headlock. She could not. I don't know how I had her. Like I had her. I was holding on to like a fucking thing. By this point, her veil had come off.
Shit's all over.
Everything came off. My heart's pumping. You know, my heart was fucking beating to death.
Yeah.
And I got to open the door, and the kids were exiting the class. So now they're looking at this. They just like, oh, and I'm grabbing. I'm like, get help. Get the fucking Rubero brothers. We got to go to work here. I'm running out of time. You know what I'm saying? The ship is fucking sinking. And I knew that I had her. I knew I was just going to run out of there and keep running. That was my plan, to just run out of there and keep running, get to a payphone, call my mother at the bar in Union City, which is about 20 minutes away. That was the plan. That was the fucking plan, to run out of there, guys. I swear to God. And as I came out, these are New York City kids. This ain't fucking California people. This ain't kids. These are fucking suburb-raised kids that are crazy. So what do they start doing? They start clapping, CoCo, 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 CoCo. Now I gotta kill her. Now I gotta kill her. I can't pussy out in front of these guys. I'm representing 148th Street. And I'm representing Union City. I'm representing 88th Street. How am I gonna pussy out? They're yelling, CoCo, CoCo. I'm choking her to death. And she's like, let me go. And now other kids start jumping in. Thank God for Puerto Ricans. Thank God for Puerto Ricans and Italian kids. Because those are the only two that helped me. All the other fucking races just stood there, shitting their pants. These fucking Puerto Rican kids came, and now they picked her up, and we flattened her, pancaked her up.
Later.
Like we pancaked her up while the Italian kid is kicking her in the midsection. This is hysterical. Now, we're fucking her up. I'm still holding on to dear life. I'm fucking up her ear. I can see that I'm fucking up her earring, you know, and she's like, let me go, and we're holding on. And these Puerto Rican kids are fucking pulling her legs, and for some reason they pulled her shoes off. So she couldn't run after us or whatever. I'm like, pull the shoes off. And they're like, okay, for what? She had these big fat fucking feet with no nail polish on her fucking feet. And the poor Italian kids kicking her, body kicking her. I mean, it was just fucking ugly, right? So
I'm just laughing because every kid that she hits just trying to scoot over. Let me get a couple of these motherfuckers.
And the nuns are coming. Now, there was brothers who are nuns, but a male, but they were in the other building.
They're not. I didn't know they were male.
They're called brothers before they become a priest.
Oh, okay.
So now we kind of pancake her down, head first on the floor. I let go of the fucking headlock, and I got like I could just get on top of her with both knees. The Italian kid has kicked her fucking 80 times to the midsection, and the 2 Puerto Ricans are stepping on her ankles. She's not going anywhere, right? They're stepping on her ankles. So we're like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Now, the phone is, like I said, 30 feet away. I had change in my pocket. The only way I'm going to get out of this is by fucking calling my mother and telling her the truth. But I can't leave her there. She's going to get up.
Yeah.
So, again, I get her in a good position. She's, like, out of it. And now I get her with a right fucking headlock. And we actually drag her to the fucking phone. Like, this is fucking crazy shit, guys. And she's like, let me go. And by this point, the brothers come in, and Jack's there with the stick and the dog. And he's like, let her go, but I'm bleeding. That's the only thing that saved me. I'm bleeding. And I'm bleeding bad out of my lip.
You were bleeding first.
And I'm bleeding first. So I'm like, he's like, we're going to call the police. I go, call the police, bitch. I got a story to tell the cops. And while they held her down, like by this time, a couple kids had jumped over. And these kids weren't scared of Jack either. Like, they had it with Jack.
Right.
Like, they're like, that's it. We're revolting today. This was a fucking coup today. We've had it with Jack. And Jack, you might hit us with the stick with 2 of us. And your dog might bite one of us. But 40 kids are going to jump you. So you better think twice about your next fucking move. And I'm talking about crazy New York City kids that had to be put in here because behavior problems and shit. So if you want to keep this up, Jack, we'll keep this fucking up. So I broke away. And they're like, we're like telling them to shut the fuck up. We're like, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. And everybody's yelling at it. And the nuns are like, we'll pray for you, shut the fuck up. You know, and I get on the phone. I'm like, my mom picks up on the first ring. And hello, that was the name of the bar. And I go, Mima, you know, the nun hit me and I'm bleeding from my face. And she goes, ¿Qué pasó? And she's like, tell me what's happening. And I go, you got to get out here because they're going to, this is going to get ugly. And she goes, I'll be there in 10 minutes. And she hung up the phone. So now we're standing there with her, with the nun on the floor, and she's like, you guys got to let me up eventually. And we're like, we're not letting you up. And they're surrounding us now. The brothers are there, the fucking, the Jack is there, the nuns are there, but these kids are ready to go. They're like, don't let that fucking bitch up. Fuck her, you fat fuck. I'm sick and tired of getting hit by her. So now this is like it became a revolt. And all of a sudden, the door opens up. And it's my mother with like 8 Puerto Ricans. Anybody who was drinking at the bar, she put them in the car with her. Like, let's go. We're going to go clean some fucking clocks. They came in, dog, and they're like, what the fuck is going on? And one of the guys pushed Jack. And it was real. We let the nun up. They didn't want the police to come. Nobody wanted the police to come. Like, they were really scared of the cops to come. Like, no, nobody have to call the police. It doesn't have to be this way. They put everybody else in the classrooms. I stayed up. My mother cleaned me up. My mother went at the nun and called her a cunt in Spanish, puta, you know, everything, sucia, hijo de puta. She was telling her, you got to get fucked in the ass 4 times before you can hit my kid. I mean, it was terrible. It was
That's a hell of a fucking roll.
Oh, yeah. My mother's like, you got to get fucked in the ass 5 times, have a kid, and then you can lay a hand on my kid. Until that time, don't you ever lay a hand on my kid. So I think a priest was a principal, and he came upstairs, and he fucking said, he sat down, and he goes, you know, Jose has been a good student. You know, he's had his eating problems or whatever, but besides that, he's okay. But how would this work? How is this going to work? Because it was like April. And I'm like, I'll tell you how this is going to work. She's not going to fucking fuck with me no more. She's never going to say those things. And I told him what I had kept secret for all those years. She hit me with a stick, and my mother's getting hot. My mother's standing up, and the 8 Puerto Ricans are holding her back, and it was ugly. So we made a fucking deal. They said, listen, he could stay in the school. She is not going to be your teacher. We will like work on you on a one-on-one basis to the end of the year. And after that, we're resolving you go to your way. And when you go, because my mother told him, you can't throw him out. He's got nowhere to go in April. And then my mother dropped a bomb on him. My mom's like, and I want my money back for the year. In 5s. Like, I want my deposit back, but I want it in $5 bills. Like, something crazy. Like, my mom was crazy like that. And she goes, I won't leave till I get my money back. This is bullshit. I'm going to contact my attorney. They wrote my mother a check.
Did they?
Yeah, so I went to school a year for free.
And you got to stay in school.
And then you should have seen me. I was walking around like Chinese people after Bruce Lee. I was walking in there like the kids were shining my shoes. I had become a star in that school. People were fucking wiping down the table before I sat down. I didn't have to eat my string beans no more. I would just throw them out in front of them. I'd take the milk full and I'd pour it in the garbage in front of Sister Hyacinth and give it a finger. I mean, I had a bad attitude. Now I had won. I had won, you know.